Good evening and welcome back to The Forgotten City. Last time out, well, spoiler alert if you did not see the last episode. Turns out we on a spaceship. Right, yes, we're on a spaceship. Pluto is an alien. Got into a big old philosophical discussion with him about the nature of punishment and whether it was ethical to punish people for sins that they've committed. Pretty wild. I do not have the wherewithal to be able to argue with the likes of Hades himself, but I tell you who does. Our local resident philosopher, who I happen to be somewhat on speaking terms with. At least, you know, in a past loop. He doesn't know who I am at this stage, but hopefully, given that this will be the second time we're going to be speaking to him, we'll be able to convince him to either come with us to help out. Galerius talking to Rufius there, which is great. He's doing the errands, his errands for today. C to crouch, thank you. If I recall, there's no zombies down here, so we're just gonna push forward boldly. Yes, the local philosopher. He is going to either come with us, or he's going to give us some killer arguments for what we can do here. My hope is that we can convince Pluto to just let everybody go. Hello.
Visitor. Welcome, welcome. May I ask your name?
Let's go with that.
I was indeed, but we've never met before, have we?
Too long to
Sure, I
explain.
would have remembered.
Nah, in fairness, you're a
Yes, it
smart
is.
guy. Let's explain
My
it to
roots and
you.
my memory. Oh, that's a relief. For a moment, I thought it was I who was touched by madness.
I actually love how okay everyone is in this game. How would you persuade the god of the underworld to
I
abolish
assume
the
you're
golden
asking
rule?
me this as some kind of amusing hypothetical.
You'd think that, but no.
Extraordinary. Then let me see if I can help you. I suppose first I'd want to gather information. I'd want to know about his reasons for imposing the golden rule and what he considers a sin. If I could expose
Okay,
some internal
we've got
inconsistency in
got
his
those.
reasoning, some degree of hypocrisy, I might be able to compel him to change his position. But
Do you wanna
as
come
a
with?
philosopher, the saddest truth I ever learned is that all but the most enlightened opponents are more easily swayed by appeals to emotion than by reason.
I don't know, he seems
So
pretty
the easiest
enlightened.
part would be to find his emotional susceptibility and exploit it. If he was vain, I might try to flatter him. If he was merciful, I would try to evoke pity. As a last resort, I might figure out what he fears losing above all else, and, if I could, threaten to take it away. Though, of course, that could easily go awry. Now, go quickly while my words are still fresh in your memory.
That's his advice? I thought you were going to give me a killer argument, mate. Have you got anything
Good to
else
see
for
you
me?
again, friend. I enjoy.
Okay, fine. So, basically, appeal to his emotional side, threaten him a little bit, but maybe not too much. And, yeah, don't rely on logic too hard. Man, that guy's like the worst philosopher ever. Okay. back to the tower.
Whatever's in that great temple up there on the bluff.
Now here's the thing. Talking to Apollo, not
Citizen.
Apollo, Pluto, Hades, probably don't want to reveal to him that we're in a time loop. Probably don't want to reveal to him that he has had this conversation with me before. Because, well, actually, do you know what? I don't know. Maybe he is going to be aware that we've had the conversation before. I don't know. Let's check it out, though. So, it's Pluto first. Then it's Hades next. Then it is Osiris. This is wild. Do you reckon? Oh no! We have guardrails here. That's nice. Okay, here we are. Back again. Here we are.
To introduce myself. As you have already gathered, I've been known by many names. Nergal to the Sumerians, Osiris to the Egyptians, Hades to the Greeks, and Pluto to the Romans. But the one constant through it all has been my title, God of the Underworld. And I've been watching you with curiosity, mortal, ever since your arrival. You're unlike the others, aren't you? And what is more, you carry a weapon that was never intended for mortals to wield. But there will be time first, as a reward for undoing the...
Great.
Good. And now it is time. Only, it seems, it has long been within my... When I peer into you, Charon, where did you...
I do not remember faring. If that is true, then I said...
How did you come to be in this time?
We cannot know.
I'm kind of tempted to go down the path. I was hoping that the philosopher would give me a little bit more that I could use, but do you know what I think? This time out, we'll see if the philosopher's advice has given me anything I can use.
I do not know. Tread lightly, mortal. Enough of this. It seems that... Why have you come here?
Okay. We would like to put an end to the golden rule.
Hubris. If you anger me or waste my time with lies. So, tell me.
So...
We cannot know.
I see what you are doing. You have no idea how close you... That is a very serious accusation. These people were all dead when my servant found them. I gave them a second. Then you still have the option to end your life should you wish. Accordingly, I reject your argument.
Okay, fine.
Every one of those people was... They failed collect... Ah, but I'm a god, and you are a mortal.
Okay.
Let me ask you this. Do you
We could try a lie. Is he going to know that we're lying? I don't know.
Of course not. My love for her does not mean I... Where to begin? In which time? It would be most unwise to get ideas about attacking me. Because that is the sort...
Okay.
My kin. That is true. Make your point, mortal. Bah! For a moment, I thought you might have been building to a point. But I see...
And I don't
How
think
so? And be specific.
this one gives us very much here, right?
Pathetic. You have made it. You will make a...
Fine, okay.
Do you really think...
This time we're going to try and make sure we actually grab her crown before we get out of here. Seize my crown. Okay.
How dare you threaten her?
The many shall suffer for the sins
Right, give me the
of
crown.
one.
Give me the crown. There we go. We've got her crown. Let's just double check. Crown. Yes. Proserpina's crown. Right, now we're gonna run. I mean, I wonder what would happen if we just told him that, like, if all he can do is send his statues after us. And let's be honest, his statues aren't exactly the best shots. Hang on. Oh, right, here we go. Well, we've got her crown now. That's fine. We've got a few different paths that we can try in the next loop. I think telling him that she's speaking to us, like, what's the worst that can realistically happen in that scenario? Dunno. Oh, there's Sentius. Man, how did I get here before you, mate? Alright, roll it back.
Salve, friend.
Okay, take care of some things. Ulia, Rufius, Fabia, Malleolus. Good. Bye. Now. Rewind time and show Pluto you have Proserpina's crown. Why though? Like, what's her crown gonna do? Yeah, I'm genuinely a little bit confused as to why her crown is important. Okay, here we go. Okay.
And here you are.
Hello.
Allow me to introduce no god, but the one, and I.
We are all good. So what is the crown gonna do? Go on.
I would recognize that anywhere, and yet my beloved still wears hers. What is this? How did you come by it?
Okay.
Vile, despicable creature. Why would you do such a thing? And worse still, boast about it. You have put me in an impossible position. If I refuse, you will murder her. And yet, if I agree, I will lose my wager and return to Elysium humiliated and alone.
That wasn't really my intention, if I'm honest. But okay.
I do not see that I have a choice in this. Your treachery and savagery have opened my eyes like nothing I have witnessed in 3,000 years. And now you have shown me your species' true colors. And I see that Proserpina was a fool to have ever believed in you at all.
I think Proserpina's tricked us into a bad ending here.
It's time for me to let go of this form of her.
Achievement unlocked. Psycho.
But know this. If I abandon the wager and leave for Elysium, neither she nor your kind may ever ascend. Because despicable creatures like you have no place there. My kin would never allow it. The best I can do is return you to the land of the living. I will have Charon make arrangements to ferry the others. But as for you, be aware you will be separated from the rest. Once this exodus begins, the events that brought you to this moment will never have taken place, and you will have created a paradox.
Okay.
What will become of you is difficult to predict, but that is the risk you have taken by interfering in the natural flow of time. Now, are you ready?
I guess so.
Let's pray our paths never cross again, mortal.
Oh! So we have persuaded him to abolish the Golden Rule. And everyone got sent back to the land of the living. So we win? Hello, Alworth.
Oh. Hi there. Gave me a bit of a fright. Thought I was in here alone. I'm Al. Well, here I am. I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name. Know who you are. I barely remember how I got here myself.
Why would he know
that
who
lady
I
in the
was?
forest send you in here after me? I guess I lost track of time, learning about the history of this place, and it is extraordinary. I'm fairly certain you and I are the first people to set foot in this city for about 2,000 years. Fortunately for us, the last person in here was a Roman man named Galerius, who inscribed an account into a tablet. Apparently, there was a community of 20-something people trapped in here, and living in fear of a curse they called the Golden Rule. They believed that if even one person sinned, an unknown god would cast them all into gold, like the 1,000 people who'd lived here before them. Then, one day, just as Galerius had finished praying for a good harvest at the shrine of Proserpina, an oracle appeared and told him how to solve the ills of the city, like saving the life of a dying woman, foiling an assassination attempt, and so on. Meanwhile, the Oracle walked up to the temple of the mysterious god, this one right here, and demanded an audience. And the doors just opened up to him. Nobody knows what went on in there, but Galerius wrote the Oracle must have been more persuasive than Odysseus, because the next thing he knew, the ground shook, and the voice of that god rang out over the city. The many have suffered long enough. Unfortunately, Galerius' account just sort of stops after that, leaving a lot of questions unanswered. What became of him, and the other people who lived here? What happened to all the golden statues? And did this mysterious oracle single-handedly undo the curse that had terrorized people for hundreds of years?
Those rumors are crazy.
What? Oh, I see. For a moment there I thought you were serious. Anyway, I think I found a way out through the aqueduct that brought water into the city. Follow me.
Okay. Oh, right. The end? Question mark? Updated main goal, point of origin. Return to the river. So we're back out. You know, it's late afternoon. A cool late afternoon breeze. Al is fencing this up.
Else has ever lured into this temple.
I really don't think that's gonna.
Go on ahead. I'll be there soon.
Don't think that's gonna make much difference, in honesty, because you know it's still clearly an ancient Roman temple. You're just putting a plank of wood over the door. I think a sign would be better than trying to board it up. But okay. We've got nice sort of triumphant music. So I can see on my Steam stats, Psycho, looks like 31% of players have unlocked that achievement. So this appears to be quite a common ending that we've found here. Ah, here's Charon. Hello.
You're back. But you're alone. Does that mean you didn't find...
Drop the charade, Karen.
Ah, what a relief. Thank you so much. I was beginning to think you'd both become trapped in there. Why don't you tell me what you discovered while we wait?
Ah, I see. I thought you might. Well, now you know. I suppose...
Yes, you can answer my questions about what happened to everyone.
You can just call me Charon, if you like. I am sorry I was not completely honest with you when we first met. I do not enjoy deceiving people. Believe me, I do not. But I have learned, from 5,000 years of experience, that most people find comfort in familiarity, in gradual change, and coming to see the truth in their own time. That you died, of course. You were dead when I brought you here. My role, as the servant of the god of the underworld, has always been to assist the chosen to cross the threshold from the land of the living to the land of the dead. Usually, when people do not remember how they died, it is because they suffered a terrible trauma. Most souls would rather not remember. Ask yourself honestly, do you really want to know? As you
Sure.
wish. You were murdered. You made a purchase in a marketplace, and the change you received was, by mistake, a single silver coin of ancient origin. You were seen inspecting it, and soon after, you were set upon by 2 thieves. The shopkeeper who had given you the coin saw the scuffle break out and leapt to your aid. You both fought bravely, but your assailants were armed, and you were not. There was nothing you or your ally could have done. He died instantly at the scene, and you followed a few hours later. That man's name was Al Worth. You were each in possession of a sacred coin, called Karen's Opal by some, and so it was my duty to bring you here. It means I am now bereft of purpose. There is nobody else to ferry here, nobody to keep you company. After 5,000 years, the underworld has finally run its course. Perhaps you have heard the tales of the Greeks and Romans bearing their dead with a coin in their mouths to pay the ferryman for passage across the river.
Yep, we covered that earlier.
Well, those stories contained a seed of truth.
Hang on, we
But
know
not
this.
any. A long time ago, my orders were simple. It means there is nobody else. I see no point in keeping you here. But I have to ask one thing. That you keep this to yourself.
Look! Here comes Al now. Al! It's so good to see you. You were gone so long I thought I'd never see you again.
Kinda lost track of time in there. You wouldn't believe what we found. The ruins of a long-forgotten city. And there was a tablet describing an oracle who confronted a god and undid an ancient curse.
Sounds like quite a story. And I look forward to hearing all about it. But you two look exhausted. Why don't you hop in my boat and rest while
I mean, I was sort of
Carry you back
hoping
to
that
civilization?
Charon would give us some
And you?
insight
Are you
about
ready
what
to go
happened to Galerius and everyone else after getting out of there. Oh, 1 year later. Oh, wow, here we go. We're in a museum. Who have we got here?
Hey, you made it. It's great to see you again. After everything you've been through, I thought you might appreciate some good news. So after we got back to the real world, I started doing some research into the people mentioned in Galerius' tablet. And I found something strange. I'm sorry I've been so cryptic. I've been dying to tell you. I just really wanted you to see this for yourself. Why don't you head on down there? I'll catch up with you at the other end.
Hang on, when he says when we got back to the real world, so...
Oh,
Oh, wait! What? Galerius is here!
You're finally here. Remember me?
Oh,
Crazy story. After you disappeared, Charon appeared and told us she was returning us to the world. Even gave us some coins to help us start our lives over. Only, for some reason, she returned us to your world instead of ours.
Oh, that's
Anyway,
sweet.
I know we only ever had that one conversation, and I wasn't even sure if you'd remember me, but I wanted to say thanks for freeing us from the underworld and giving us a second chance at life. I know. I can't believe my luck either. But we're engaged and living together. We're planning to get married next spring. If you're going to be around, we'd love to see you there.
It's a shame that they don't retain any of their memories from the... Well, actually, no, maybe it's a good thing they don't retain them. But yes. Count me in.
Oh, I used Charon's gift to buy a farm in Umbria. Got a villa on it too, with enough room for Dooley, of course.
It's a
It's
silver
hard work,
coin,
but
right?
I sleep soundly every night. I'm finally my own man, and I wouldn't change it for the world. Of course, there's a whole museum full of people waiting for a chance to thank you, so you better keep moving. We'll speak again soon, my friend.
Achievement unlocked, the Oracle.
You're here. It's lovely to finally meet you, Galerius. So, you're the hero who somehow vanquished the last of the Roman gods. As I'm a priestess, you realize you've put me out of work. I'm just teasing. Actually, and it still feels a little sacrilegious to say this, I'm finding life after religion quite enjoyable. Galerius and I are engaged and expecting. We've just bought a lovely villa in the countryside with room for a large family, And Dooley too, of course. It feels like the world has just opened up for us. There's so much to learn, and so many more possibilities for our children than we ever imagined. We're just so thankful for what you did for us. For all of us. Oh, it's sweet of you to ask. She recovered nicely. See you at...
We've got Dooley.
Hello, I'm the... Galerius said you're very nice and a big helper. Thank you for getting us out of the bad place. I didn't like it.
It's you.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Dooley. So, who else have we got here?
Evening.
Horatius, Sentia, Yulia,
Hi there.
Hello.
Lucretia.
You're the Oracle, right? Oh, of course.
Guess that's
sorry.
me.
And I never got a chance to thank you for telling Galerius how to save my life. And of course, getting me and all of us out of a terrible situation. Last I heard, Malleolus kept insisting he was the last rightful ruler of the Roman Empire, and wound up being committed to a psychiatric hospital. As for Claudia, she was always so viciously unhappy. Someone said she'd blown all her money on wine, trying to drink herself back to the underworld. After the horrific way they treated Ulpius and me, I can't help feeling a sense of... what's that German word? Schadenfreude? Thank you. You're very kind. Ugh. Someone told me she was boasting about getting her claws into some rich prince.
She was a
She
tavern
was going to be living the
owner,
high
wasn't she?
life from now on. Even in your time, life still isn't fair. Apparently, he'd proposed before they'd even met. And last I heard, she'd bought herself a first-class one-way ticket to join him in some exotic place called... what was it? Nigeria? Some people have all the luck.
Right.
Really? Huh. I feel better already. Thank you. You too. If you're ever in London, let me know. We can go to bars and drink wine and... I hope.
We've got Lucretia. Did she become a full-blown
here.
doctor eventually?
It's nice. Lucy is fine. I'm making an effort to blend in, as you can see. We are all trying to keep a low profile. If the world knew we died 2,000 years ago and were suddenly brought back to life 12 months ago, they'd never leave us alone. Speaking of which, I wanted to say thank you in person. I'd say the gods smile on you, but I hear you drove the last of them off. So... I'm studying to get into medical school. As much as when it ended, I realized You too. Hello.
Magnificent.
Georgius,
museum, is it
Fabia,
not?
the hermit philosopher.
I take it you're the oracle everybody's talking about. It's a pleasure to finally meet you.
Yes, and we're going to get your name now.
We have. I'm sorry, I don't remember. In any case, I'm Philip. I never thought I'd leave that cave, let alone the city. And now I'm living in the 21st century. What a time to be alive. And it seems I have your catabasis to thank for it.
Oh, blimey. What is one of those? Catabasis. Okay, it's like a military retreat, apparently. Oh, no, catabasis. In the hero's journey, the hero travels to a forbidden unknown realm. A catabasis is when that place is specifically the underworld. Wow, that's a very, very specific word. Okay. What are you
I'm
doing
working
with
as
yourself
a
these days?
consultant to the Faculty of Classics at Cambridge University, helping fill the odd gap in their knowledge. Not that I need the money, but I do love being around enlightened minds again. My sincere thanks once again.
Are we not actually going to find out who he is? I was assuming he was going to be someone from history. Hang on, who was Octavia again?
Good evening.
Hello there.
Livia.
Some soiree, innit?
Oh, no, Decius.
Oh, hello. It's lovely to meet you. I've heard... I'm thankful that you're here. I was sure the person who drove off the last pagan god would have more important things to do than visit the likes of us. But thank you for coming and for saving our lives. What you did was extraordinary, and I'll never
Right, I
forget.
think Octavia is the one who's hanging out with Ulpius by the temple, right?
I'm living in Rome again, in a charming little flat by the Tiber. Not far from my old place. Oh, and I'm training to be a crisis counselor. After you sent Galerius to persuade Ulpius not to take his own life, I was inspired. I just want to spend the rest of my life helping people, like you helped him. Thank you. That means a lot. And you. Oh, and I hope this isn't too forward, but some of us are going out for a drink after this, if you'd like to join us.
Sure.
Wonderful. I'll see you soon.
Greetings. Thank you for your kind words and for liberating us all. In all the time I was in the underworld, I never once
Hello
imagined
there.
that I might end up in a place so much like Elysium. I'm recovering. Octavia was kind enough to let me stay with her for a while, at least until I'm well enough to be independent again. Ah, you remember that. I'm a little tired of Ovid, but that's all right. I have 2,000 years worth of poetry to catch up on now. I'm already up to the 19th century, and
Oh, wow.
quite enjoying the work
You've
of a fellow
read a
named
lot,
Poe.
then.
I think I may have found a kindred spirit. Men have called me mad, but the question is not yet settled whether madness is or is not the loftiest intelligence. And you?
Not interested in hearing what nonsense you're up to, Decius. Ah, Kabash. Yeah, I get you, Kabash. Rufius and Virgil, how are you guys doing?
Nice to meet you. I go by Rufus now. New start, new name. For what you did. Sorry, I'm no good with the mushy stuff. Huh. Good to know. Anyway, it was good practice for the new world. Security cameras and smartphones.
Hey, not that we're going to get all political.
Stay vigilant. I live with Virgil in Rotterdam, not far from where he grew up. It's very modern. Destroyed in the war, and it rebuilt itself. Good place for a fresh start. Haven't decided what I'm going to do with my life yet. One adjustment at a time. You too. Look us up.
It's so nice to finally meet you. I wanted to thank you personally for helping Rufus come to terms with himself. He may come off a little gruff, but once you get past that, he's a lovely fellow. I'm studying to be an architect again, and living with Rufus in our beautiful flat in Rotterdam, just down the river from Nijmegen, where I grew up. Of course, it's improved immensely since I was there last. gleaming futuristic buildings and clean streets full of educated, accepting people. You natives of the 21st century have no idea how fortunate you are. You too, as Rufus said in his own laconic way, if you're ever in the Netherlands, we'd love to show you around. It's the least we could do.
Wow. Everyone here, this is a big old family reunion, isn't it?
Hello there.
Hi.
Stranger.
Oh, I go by Gabriella now. I didn't want to be reminded of that monster every time I heard my own name.
Yeah. Was this something that we just didn't manage to,
Sentius locked me up in the upper cistern.
Oh.
From escaping. After you drove Pluto
Okay.
off, Proserpina came and released me. And that monster got what was coming to him.
Oh.
Don't worry. Nobody did.
Wow. So Sentius was a bad guy. I mean, I knew he was a bad guy, but like, you know.
I'm living with Ulpius on a little vineyard in Umbria. It's even more wonderful. I'm so grateful to you for making sure he's still with us. If you're ever passing through the region, I hope you'll come and visit us. Thanks. You too.
Okay. Where's Karen hanging around nowadays?
There you are. I hope you enjoyed that. Now, there's one more person I wanted to introduce you to. I think you know her.
What? Proserpina's here?
Sorry if I frightened you. Just a little joke I've been saving for a long, long time. Allow me to introduce myself properly. I am Proserpina, former goddess of the cycle of life and renewal, and now a regular mortal. I wanted to meet you in person, and thank you for freeing all these people, and me. I hate to think what would have happened to us without your intervention.
Okay. Well, we've got a lot of questions here, right?
Indeed. Suffice it to say that while Pluto was controlling the eyes and ears of each golden statue, I was able to control their tongues and whisper to you when he was distracted. I am sorry my messages were so cryptic. There were only ever brief windows in which I could speak to you without being detected. I did. I may have given up my immortality, but I still retain my gifts as the goddess of the cycle of life and renewal. After witnessing Pluto punish countless poor souls over thousands of years, I knew this generation, the final wave, would not survive. So I tried to give them a way to buy more time. A second chance. Rather, as many second chances as they needed to avoid his wrath. I don't know what happened to him. I haven't heard from him, and I rather hope it stays that way. Oh, she inherited dominion over the underworld. Last time we spoke, she was working on a new world of some kind. She wouldn't say what it was, but I'd be surprised if you don't run into her again. I imagine we all will, one day.
Okay.
And you, although it feels like I've known you forever. Oh, and one last thing. Do you remember all those golden statues scattered throughout the city?
They're the ones making the
Good.
hubbub
Because
downstairs.
they were you. Well done, my friend. Of all the heroes who ever journeyed to the underworld and returned, none came close to achieving what you did. Hercules, Orpheus, Theseus, and Aeneas would be proud.
There we go. Achievement unlocked. The canon ending. Oh, ending 4 of 4. Okay. The canon ending. So I guess that was true ending, after all. Or, you know, best ending. I mean, what is it? I mean, the achievement we unlocked was Psycho, which is kind of crazy. Interestingly enough, canon ending, 47% percent of players have that one. So actually fewer people have Psycho than have canon ending, which means there must be another way of getting that. Pluto also seemed just incredibly angry about the fact that I was threatening Proserpina. So presumably there's another way to navigate that. There must be another way to navigate that conversation to actually persuade him to end the Golden Rule, rather than threaten him into doing it. Presumably, other endings would involve... So I never went into the upper cistern in the end. Presumably, once Galerius is elected magistrate... I mean, I never met Scintilla either. So presumably once Galerius is elected magistrate, you can get the key for the upper cistern. Go and find Scintilla. I guess if you go up to the... Because someone mentioned something at some point about being able to escape that way. So yeah. Okay. But that was Forgotten City. How did you guys find that? I thought it was nice. I thought, like, as a puzzle game, it was definitely a bit of a different one. More of a kind of... In fact, I mean, I'm really struggling to think what that was like. You know, I don't think I've really played a game that's really like it, you know. It's a little bit like... Oh, do you know what? No. There is a puzzle game where it's all about kind of getting people into the correct rooms of a mansion at the correct times. It's some kind of murder mystery game, I think it is. And yeah, and so there are sort of parallels with that kind of thing, where it's like, okay, certain things are happening at certain times. I mean, I suppose technically you could like draw comparisons with things like Majora's Mask and so on, because the day does run on a schedule, but thankfully, and you know, absolutely 10 out of 10 on this one, right? The schedule is pretty loose. Like, it's not like there is very little waiting around for things to be in the right place to happen. So that's really great. Like, there was once or twice where we got a bit stuck looking for someone and we weren't sure where they would be at a given time of day. Especially Galerius, because he does sort of wander around. He goes to his farm. He goes and visits Dooley. Everyone else is always kind of where they need to be at the time, you know, whatever time of day it is. So presumably there's some pretty clever scripting going on in the back end to load people into positions as you approach, rather than it being like tied to a particular time of day. We never worked out who is breaking the golden rule. Like, we never worked that out, like what causes the golden rule to be broken. Or if it is Malleolus and Domitius, well, okay, executing them in the name of Sentius doesn't actually help. Or maybe it's Sentius that breaks the golden rule, right? Because maybe something with Scintilla is actually what breaks the golden rule at the end of the day. I don't know. The other thing that's just really, really good on this game is the way the loops work with conversation as well. You need to have a conversation once, and then every subsequent loop there are always clever ways to be like, we've had this conversation before, I want to skip it. You know, Galerius, he's hilarious, right? Because he's so chill about... he's just so chill about this time loop thing. In fact, everyone is, right? Like, Sentius, really Johnny on the spot with, oh, you're from the future. Oh, in that case, you must have come through a time loop that I created then. Clearly, because that's the only explanation for that. Message from the developers, we hope you enjoyed it. We'd love to make even better games in the future. You can help out by recommending The Forgotten City to a friend or writing a review. The more people play our games, the more we can level up. If you'd like to be the first to know when we announce our next project, please contact us here. Well, do you know what? I'm excited to see more from this developer for sure. It's a very novel game. So, yeah. the conversation trees work really well. The other thing I really want to shout out on this game as being absolutely brilliant is tangential learning, right? I've been talking about this for forever. Tangential learning is the ability to pick up knowledge when you're not explicitly learning something, right? So tangential learning is about what am I trying to say here? Right, there is this game is a really great opportunity for tangential learning. Okay, tangential learning is learning that you do when you're not explicitly learning. It's when you're doing something else. You're playing a video game, you're also learning at the same time. Okay, but it tricks your brain because you're not really learning, right? You're playing a video game, right? Civilization, really good for tangential learning. Yeah, Civ 6, really great, right? Loads of different world leaders, you learn a bit of history, etc, etc. This game, absolutely packed with, you know, Roman poetry, philosophy, comparisons between Roman, Greek, Egyptian and Sumerian mythology. Like, it's so densely populated with really, really good, really cool references. And, you know, if you are someone with a passing interest in, you know, Roman mythology, you will probably like this game because there is a lot of it in there. And it's just kind of in the background. It doesn't just, it's not overbearing, right? It's not like an exam that's testing your knowledge of it. It's just there. And that's really good, you know. A lot of effort clearly went into that. So yeah, overall, thumbs up. Would recommend. Great. What are we going to play next? Well, I don't know. I'm not sure. I genuinely don't know. We will have to go and see. I've got a few games in the library. I might check out, see what's on sale coming up. But thank you very much for sticking with the Forgotten City throughout this whole playthrough. And if you enjoyed this, leave a like, leave a subscribe if you'd like to be notified when I'm playing my next game. It was great having you here. I'll see you guys soon. Bye bye.